record, so hold on. Okay, go ahead and repeat that question.
If you could, so when we talk about when I ask you the question, please respond with the question in your answer.
Okay.
So that way when we do edit this, I'm cut completely out of the video.
Alright.
Okay, so please state your full name, age, occupation, hometown, and residing city and state.
Okay. My name is Jennifer Stelma, and I am 40 years old. I am currently a DJ slash karaoke host, and I reside in Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona.
Well, perfect. I've been to both those places.
It's fun here.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into music.
You know, I came from a very musical family, so getting into music for me was something that just came almost naturally. My mother, all while I was growing up, was going to school to become a music teacher. My dad sang for many, many, many years, directed music at a choir, for a church choir, for a long time. And so it was kind of inevitable that all of us would end up singing. And so, you know, out of the three of us kids, we all sing at some level or another. So it's very fun. It's something I've been doing my whole entire life.
So, what is your current situation with your music? Where are you at currently in your career?
Well, currently in my career, I'm a very, very busy KJ. I host shows all over the valley. I enter any contest I can find to sing because I love to sing. And, you know, unfortunately, when you're hosting karaoke, you don't get to sing or perform as much as you would like. So any chance that I get to go and do things, I'm absolutely out there and doing it. And I try to get my foot in the door any way that I can.
What would you say your favorite part about being a singer is?
You know, my favorite part about being a singer and even just a performer is actually getting to not only meet people, but see that you touch them in one way or another, whether they really love the song and it made them cry, which has happened, and that gets to me. I think that is probably one of the biggest compliments anybody can ever give you, is when what you're doing touches them emotionally. And I think just being up on the stage is better than any drug you could ever do in your whole entire life. It's better than anything. So probably just being on that stage alone and being able to interact with an audience is my favorite part about singing.
Great. What are some of your biggest influences?
My biggest what? I'm sorry? I would absolutely say that some of my biggest influences, first and foremost, it would be my mom, because she put her heart and soul into something and absolutely just did it. I mean, she made it work. She was, you know, the person that I look up to even to this day. If I think I can't do something, I remember how hard my mom struggled to get where she is now in her music career, where she teaches for a living. And I look at that, and I think that she is probably my biggest influence ever, because I'm thinking she did it all with 3 little kids, and my kids are all older now. I can absolutely do it. So I'd have to say she's probably the biggest and most influential person that got me to where I am right now.
So so tell me a little bit about your kids and their ages and your family life.
Okay.
And your relationship with your mother.
Okay. I have 3 children and a stepson. My kids I have all boys. They're pretty much grown up now. I have 2 that are almost 21, and then the youngest 2 are 18 and almost 17. I'm married. I've been with my husband for 14 years. My relationship with my mother is wonderful. I mean, we talk all the time. I would say that, you know, all of us are kind of like that with our mom. She's just a really special, very neat person, and we talk to her almost every single day. And if we don't talk, we text, which is so nice now that, you know, you're able to keep in communication with people so easily. So, but, you know, she's still my mom, and she still gets after me, and she still tells me things that I shouldn't do, even at 40. You know, she still mothers me. But, you know, that's okay, because that's what a parent does.
Right, exactly. Well, do you ask your mom about, you know, what you're doing? Like, you're like, hey, Mom, like, should I do this, you gig? Should I do this? You know, that kind of thing, or do you kind of just do it on your own?
You know,
I always want her support.
I don't ask her if I should do something. I might ask her for tips on vocally how to do something, or what I should do to help, you know, take better care of my voice, considering that I'm talking and DJing and doing all this stuff so much that I want to make sure that I'm, you know, taking care of my gift. And but I don't ask her permission anymore. I usually just tell her, Mom, I'm doing this, and I hope it goes well, and if it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be, and if it does, you know, I ask her to pray for me a lot, so that probably helps.
Well, so do you write your own music?
You know, I used to when I was much, much, much younger, and I'm talking, you know, high school, and I used to be able to play the piano, and I used to, but I haven't done it in so incredibly long. Lyrics used to be my thing, and I just am not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just not seasoned in it anymore. It's kind of like something that if you don't use it, you kind of forget how. And I'm sure if I sat down and really put my mind to it, I absolutely could write something. It's just not something that I do on a regular basis anymore.
Right. Well, oh gosh, sorry. You're answering my question so thorough. I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. So, what do you think your biggest break has been so far?
That's a very good question. It's probably what I'm doing right now with the Lucky Break at Lone Butte Casino, where I'm on their TV show and I made it to the semifinals. That's probably been the biggest break that I've had so far. I mean, it's really difficult when I spent so much of my adulthood taking care of my children and making sure that their needs were met and that they were taken care of before I did anything with my music, and I didn't want to be a selfish mom and not take care of them. So now I think that I have the time to put into it, to dedicate to it. I'm really finding that at my age that, you know, there's a lot of closed doors. So getting my niche in is really difficult. So that's why this break currently that I have right now is really helped me a lot. And I think too, it's given me a little bit more you'll have to forgive me, I'm struggling to find my word here. It's given me a little bit more confidence, because I think before also I was afraid, you know, that they're going to tell me no. And sometimes it's easier not to hear no than it is just to not do it.
Right. Well, is your family very supportive of what you're doing right now?
Absolutely. They're all cheering for me. They just think that, you know what, it's about time that I actually did something. And they're my biggest fans, and I love them so much. They're so funny because they'll, you know, come out to Phoenix and go, okay, we're going to karaoke, I want to hear you sing. And I just think that is the biggest compliment to me, that my family absolutely loves it when I sing. You know, they make requests, they tell me what they think I should do. They're just wonderful about that, and they love it. You know, my husband has his request as well when we go anywhere. He's like, okay, will you sing this for me? Or can you get yourself up on stage to go sing with the band? Or who can we meet so that Jen gets to do something tonight? It's just fun to be around them.
Who do you think some of your biggest inspirations are? And when you were writing songs, what were your inspirations for your lyrics?
You know what? I think back when I was writing, my biggest inspiration was life itself. And I used to write my lyrics based on things that were happening in my life. Based on my friends, my social surroundings, you know, things. And to be perfectly honest, I was always very sappy. You know, I was a very emotional young lady. And so I think that I wrote based on those feelings. But I have to say that, you know, especially right now that I'm older, some of my biggest inspirations right now are like Martina McBride. She has not only an amazing story, but an amazing voice, and such an amazing quality to her voice. And she's one of those women that every time I hear her sing, it brings tears to my eyes. And that's what I love so much about music itself, is that it can invoke so many different emotions in people that you never know what song, whether it be happy or sad, is going to bring out something in someone.
Right, absolutely. Do you think that you've gotten better as you've aged? When you think that your age like a being your age has to offer, because obviously it is a lot harder to make it in the business being a little older. So can you kind of tell me about, you know, how you stay focused, how you stay motivated with the, you know, the glass ceiling, I suppose, of making it in the music industry?
Well, I think with age comes wisdom, and that probably is one of the best things that helps me right now, because I know at this point what I can and what I can't do vocally, and because of that, I'm not out there trying to sing a little teeny bopper song that I would just look silly at 40 doing. And so I stick to stuff that I know works with my voice. When I was younger, I was the first soprano. I absolutely had this. Now, mind you, it was still, I had very good pitch, very good tone quality, but I was also very loud and maybe not as controlled as I am now. And so, again, with age, I think that you learn these things about your voice. You learn what it is that you can do. You learn how to manipulate your voice to work with a certain song. So, I mean, I might be singing a rock song 1 minute, and then 5 minutes later I'm doing something country, and where it still has the same tone quality, you still know that it's me. Vocally speaking, completely different scales, and I'll have a growl in my voice singing rock and roll, and I won't have it when I have that country sweetness kind of, you know, love song thing going on. And that's something that I think when you're younger, that you don't really learn how to control and how to make yourself work with different genres of music. And so I think that at my age, that has really helped me, that I've learned that about myself, especially performing for 21 years. Whether it be just in a bar or with a band, or, you know, you learn to challenge yourself, you learn where your limits are, you learn what keys work best for you, and I think it's a lot easier for me now also, because I'm much smarter than I was back then. You know, I'm able to go in and do something and get it done, and I'm also much more of a perfectionist now too, which can also be a downfall, because I always want something to be exactly right. And I'm my own worst critic, so I nitpick it to death. Where maybe before I would have thought that it's okay, I'm going to let it slide. Now I think that it helps me being older, that I look and I go, no, I want to do it this way or this way. And I know where to rehearse something and when to change something. And so, you know, I think that age does play in my favor right now.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you think, what is your, so obviously you're married and have children and stuff, so can you tell me your current living situation, take me kind of through a day in your life, you know, how you juggle all, I mean, especially when your kids were a little younger, how you were able to juggle everything and follow your dreams.
Okay, well, again, when I was younger and the kids were younger, I mean, I really worked. I worked my butt off. Sometimes I had 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that they were taken care of. And so I wasn't really focused on my career at that point. I was focused on them, to take care of them. And now, a day in the life of Jen is a little crazy. I mean, I get text messages from people, can you take over this show? Can you go perform here? And so from the time that I wake up, I am constantly on the go, you know, between cleaning house, doing laundry, doing dishes, cooking dinner for my family, making sure that they have eaten and they're all taken care of, and still making sure that I'm there to answer those phone calls, you know, and making sure that I've coordinated people to get them out to a certain show. That, you know, especially this week, it's crazy. I'm traveling back and forth between Phoenix and Tucson, and so it gets a little nuts. And you have to learn to take naps, and you have to learn to absolutely time management and take notes, and, you know, make sure that I know exactly where I'm supposed to be at every given moment.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're at 14 minutes.
A couple words of yours because it is so echoey, so I can hear a little bit of what you're saying, so I'm sorry if I repeat.